matching Neymar. I'll tell you what, it's not a player who normally holds back on his challenge, but I think that was accidental. Interesting that obviously it's a big game for Messi and Ronaldo. Still the debate about the Ballon d'Or. Some people think Ronaldo is probably favourite, but we shall see. And obviously a big performance today for one of the two might just win them a few vital votes.
Ramos sending the ball into touch. Here is Messi. Back to Sergio Roberto. It's been a revelation at right back in the last season and a bit.
It's just gone off the boil a bit. Another one who's just gone off the boil perhaps recently. Perhaps because he hasn't played as many games in a row before as he has now.
Here's Messi. Squares up to Ronaldo. Rakitic. It's a bit different to the game last weekend against Real Sociedad. Barcelona in possession and managing to push up outside their own half. They were pegged back by La Real last weekend.
I think that's one of the things about last weekend is Busquets was utterly isolated in the middle of the park. Real Sociedad getting them up the pressure high at the field, getting it right, and just not allowing Busquets space. Didn't get any support from his teammates either. Rakitic went a bit missing in action, and Andre Gomes hasn't yet produced the form that we saw from him at Valencia. Although saying that, when he was at Valencia, he did tend to produce good games against Real Madrid, so it's the big stage.
A player who apparently Real Madrid interested in signing. Barcelona is sneaking in and doing the deal.
Another player controlled by Jorge Mendes. Very much watch the space, I think, on Jorge Mendes, looking at recent stories that come out in the press today.
All play through. Suarez leaves it for Messi. Here's Neymar. Neymar slips up at the most inopportune time. It does recover. It's sent back across. An appeal for handball is not given. Sergio Roberto looks around bemused.
I don't think it was. My first instinct that it was chest.
The first scramble we've seen inside the box.
I think it is chest.
Corner's going to be sent in by Neymar. Varane makes the block. For those 10 minutes played, a cagey start from both sides. Barcelona just easing into their own pace, their own rhythm, which is to keep the ball. Madrid won't be too worried by that.
No, they've got to. I think their style will be to look to take Barca at pace and look at the counter-attack with Ronaldo and Lucas Vázquez. Can you see there? There's no question of that being a penalty.
Busquets, Isco right on him. Isco nearly winning the ball back. It's with Mascherano. See too much link up between Messi, Neymar and Suarez last weekend. That was one of the big problems. They did link up, it ended up with a Messi goal.
The fact that it wasn't just that, they didn't really drop back to help the midfield very much. I think Messi normally does that. Ter Stegen didn't have a lot of options in Madrid, forcing the throw in.
Benzema had to play it across it. Sliding interception from Busquets. Madrid right back at it. Marcelo. His cross catches the deflection. That's going to bounce out for the first Real Madrid corner.
And Madrid will be, as always, with dangerous on set pieces. Obviously, got Ronaldo, got Ramos, Varane. A good delivery as well. Benzema and then Barcelona, obviously with Mascherano. You always think they're just that little bit vulnerable. Maybe there Andre Gomes is useful as well. He'll just give that little bit of height that Iniesta doesn't give you in defending set pieces. I don't know if I want Rakitic defending against Cristiano.
Mistake from him on the corner. We'll take the cross. Shot is set up. Busquets will try and take this away. There was a Clasico here in which Barca had a corner. It was given away by Rakitic. His very first Clasico with scoring. We'll play the cross. Here's Suarez, takes a quick look up. That might be a yellow card for Luis Suarez.
Offside.
Well, he hit the ball very much after the fact and having checks with the linesman. that he was offside.
That's good. Look at the way Marcelo made sure that he just went down along the lines. Correct decision.
Luis Suarez playing with fire. So long by Keylor Navas. They are expecting goals in this one. Haven't had a goalless clasico since 2002. We can't count that Copa del Rey final in 2010. We did see a goal in that right at the end from Ronaldo in extra time. Neymar goes down. Isco says it was a clear dive.
He puts his arm out, doesn't he?
And it's going to be a yellow card for Isco. Jordi Alba push him away. The player who was complaining.
To be fair, when you see it from that, it looks as if there's very little. It's going to hit Rakitic. It's the corner that Ronaldo appeals for. Got to see PK also seems to appeal in that one. Well, it hits his arm, doesn't it? Whether or not it's one of those that you call accidental, it's up to Lost Gomez's discretion. I'm sure we'll see it analysed about 20,000 times in Spain.
Well, Ter Stegen comes storming out of the box in order to take the ball away from Benzema, who was lurking.
Yeah, once again, a little careless back pass, but Stegen very...
He's normally waiting there or thereabouts on the edge of his area.
Has been exploited that a couple of times. Well, Mikel San Jose beating him in the 2015 Super Cup.
Our Roma fans as well will be familiar with Ter Stegen coming off his line. Marcelo has the ball under control. Benzema. He's right up there with him. Benzema appealing for a foul, not given. That's a reckless challenge from Modric. He's just told to calm it down. No card produced. It could very easily have been a booking.
I think Luis Enrique believes it should have been a booking. Just gets a toe on the ball, which might have saved him from a yellow card. Otherwise, I would say it's a nailed-on booking. Slid in from behind. Could have done damage, but I say just gets a touch on the ball, which might have swayed the referee's decision. Yeah, he's trying to put the bar quite high, Los Gomez.
Messi tries to wriggle his way through. Messi appealing for a handball which wasn't given. Ronaldo on the attack. Has that option of Marcelo on the left, which he uses. Ronaldo breaks into a sprint going into the middle. It's PK who heads clear. With Benzema the target.
The problem with the latter is letting a little. It is difficult to judge it. You either give everything, in which case maybe you run the risk of ruining the game, or you put the bar quite high, in which case you do perhaps have a slight risk of it bubbling over. So you've just got to get the balance right as a referee.
Played into the box. Collapsing header on it from Cristiano Ronaldo, who counts as a shot, but it was no danger to Ter Stegen.
It's a story about possible accusations in the press about massive scale tax avoidance by Ronaldo, which just happened to come out today. Won't have made him more popular in this ground, especially because obviously Leo Messi and several Barcelona players have been put through the ringer by the tax authorities. Correctly so, it has to be said by all accounts.
And Busquets plays to Ivan Rakitic. Taken on by Messi. Neymar on the left. Neymar slips up again. Well, we've seen this a few times from Neymar, because he's usually the first to change his studs very early if the surface requires it. Player needs to feel 100% comfortable. He slipped up twice now.
Yeah, which is just in 16 minutes. I mean, it hasn't rained here, obviously today. The pitch got a good water before. It just looks a little bit slippery on top. The question is, will it just dry out a wee bit on top in the next few minutes to allow him to continue as he is?
Mascherano. Gomez. Rakitic. Inside to Messi. As he tried to dance his way through, he's fouled by Modric. This time, foul given.
Not so sure about that one, but we'll have another look. Seeing more of Messi than Ronaldo, haven't we? We've just seen that little header from Cristiano, not much else.
Get to see Messi break through the middle. Look as if there's contact on the left leg there. On the right, maybe it's Modric just left the foot in. Our first chance to see most likely Leo Messi taking a free kick from this kind of distance. Similar position to where he scored for Argentina a couple of weeks ago. A belting free kick, 28 metres out, nice distance. I think the favourites take this ahead of Neymar.
I think if I was a betting man, I would be putting a few, but he would be my favourite, yes, very much so. Set up for left-footed player, isn't it? It's almost like Messi is indeed a complete player. He's got blonde hair, dark hair and a ginger beard.
Free kick is from Leo Messi, but it's straight into the hands of Keylor Navas. Like a curlet inside that right post.
But it's on target, it's never going to test the keeper, is it?
But no by Rafa Varane. Here's Messi. Jordi Alba. I'm sure to Iniesta play off the bench today. He would become a player for most clasico appearances in history. That's on a frequently interchange between Xavi and Iker Casillas over the years. I think we maybe saw this better on the close-up. And
To be fair, it looks like Salucci, that doesn't it, really?
and it's Madrid who are looking for a flick on here. Mascherano gets the ball out of play.
Well, quite interesting so far. Barca trying to control the ball, not looking quite their usual fluid selves. I think that's fair to say. Madrid reasonably comfortable and not looking particularly frustrated either.
Modric plays to Carvajal. Option on the right in the form of Lucas Vazquez. Benzema's calling for it. Wasn't spotted by Modric. Who plays it around the back of Jordi Alba. Carvajal has a chance in the cross in here. Might have come off Carvajal's arm. Might even have gone out of play.
I think it bounces on his arm, which is accidental. The question is whether it went out of play or not.
Neymar gets past Isco, but he can't get past Varane.
Well, Rafael, I don't fancy Neymar. I didn't quite fancy that one for logical reasons.
Neymar will try and chase this one down. He's got Suarez in the middle, tries to bring it across first time. Luis Suarez on the ball. His shot is blocked. Varane once again well positioned.
Yeah, did well there, Neymar. And Suarez just fractions of it just behind him.
Big call from Zidane bringing in Varane. So far, one that's paid off.
She goes off, just flicks up Ramos first. A good covering by both defenders.
Messi. That's Suarez there in an offside position. Suarez has to get back on. Messi can't get past Sergio Ramos. That has been frequent in the classical clashes between the two.
Just left the knee in there, Ramos, a fraction, didn't he, I thought?
He got a red card and one gave a cynical challenge on Messi about 5 years ago.
He is the record holder for red cards, Sergio Ramos, so.
Here's Modric. Kovacic.
Yeah, we talked about the result, Winwood put the 9 clear. Obviously a draw, to be honest, isn't a bad result for them either.
There's Vazquez. Tries to come back to the back post. Benzema hits it up a volley. It clatters into Mascherano. Another one put in, looking for Ronaldo. Now Modric. Isco. Moves it off to Vazquez. It's Marcelo who's slipped. Together, pitch looking slightly slippery. Ramos was tangling with Luis Suarez, who takes the time out to argue the decision with the referee. Rakitic tried to put one across to Neymar. It's going to be collected.
I think the referee's done very well there to try and give the advantage, but I'd like to think that he will consider booking Sergio Ramos for this.
A bit of a piggyback from the Spanish international.
Yeah, the referee sees that maybe Suarez has got away from that, has the option of not lofting it to Neymar, which is why he's tried to let the play flow, but he wants to really consider booking Ramos when the play stops. Ramos isn't playing the ball.
There's Ronaldo.
Andy Gomez has played very deep, isn't he, for Barca? The number 21. Seen him several times dropping back almost as a third central defender.
Isco. Real Madrid. Lays that off to Benzema. Very wide. To Marcelo, chips it across, looking for Marcelo.
Does that so well, Marcelo, get forward under pressure.
Never been kept in check by Mascherano so far.
Few little warnings for Barcelona then Madrid when they've opened it up. Dangerous passes both from the left.
Long from Navas. With a shot from Benzema from Piqué to Benzema.
Took too long there, Piqué.
Well, I think he spots that.
He sees that, that's a penalty, isn't it?
Mascherano, a player who should really know better. He's been playing in defence for long enough. It's just slightly in Barca's favour. That's Sociedad beaten for possession last weekend.
The only team that done that previously was probably Rayo, wasn't it? Rayo Vallecano, I think, was the first team that beaten possession in about 8 years.
Well, they eventually lost that game.
6-0 or something.
Suarez. Aldo Lamas has won the corner from the far side, coming up to 25 minutes of play. Barcelona 0, Real Madrid 0, the first clasico of the season. Match day 14 of the La Liga campaign. Gerard Piqué strolls forward. He's going to be the target man, undoubtedly, for Barca.
He's the main danger, isn't he? Andre Gomez as well.
The head kick from Modric, and with Benzema back, nobody to get onto that, but Sergio Roberto. And Suarez will try and keep this in. Threw himself at the ball, you can't fault his effort.
But once again, the ball just getting up that surface. I think it was a bit overhit anyhow.
Just wondering maybe the pitch has been slightly overwatered. Cold temperatures as well.
Isn't it a bit chilly? Especially in the sun. Before the game, Luis Enrique was asked, how good we play. He says, at the moment, I'm optimistic. Nobody is better than us.
Well, taken away from Messi by Luka Modric.
I did like Zidane's quotes yesterday when he was talking about last year, when of course Real Madrid overturned a 1-0 deficit to win 2-1 here. Last year, basically the game, the league looked as was almost over, wasn't it? In fact, people were saying, what day will Barcelona win the title? Because they had that run of 4 straight defeats. He said, yes, team to Bernabeu, basically with that butts and cheeks clenched together.
It was squeaky bum time.
I've seen it translated many ways, but that's the least offensive.
Taken away by Rafael Varanas. Spurs tried to back up onto him. And now they're trying to back up onto Ronaldo, who is down. It's Mascherano who asks the referee a little bit more vigilant viewing. So look, it's Ronaldo backing up onto Mascherano, who stands firm with a little bit of extra as well.
It's a bit extra, but it is Ronaldo. It's Ronaldo goes into Mascherano. Mascherano's in the right place to win the ball, but as you say, puts a little bit of extra into it, doesn't he? Into the back.
7 fouls committed so far, 4 for Barca, 3 for Real Madrid. And once again, there's another push in the back. by Mascherano on Ronaldo. Lucas Vasquez goes down on the far side.
It's good of his teammates working to get up there.
He's got.
I've been rumours in the press accounts that possibly the typical rumour that comes out in the run into a clasico that Barcelona might be interested in Isco if he lets his contract run down as a long-term replacement for Iniesta. He's got Denis Suarez as well, but we're not quite lived up to expectations so far, Dennis.
Isco, the man who has his dog named after Leo Messi.
What does he call it? Leo Messi?
It's called Messi.
So many plays on words you could make about dog Messi, aren't they? I'm not going to.
Ball away by Carvajal. This Vasquez.
That's just stupid from Neymar, isn't it? He didn't get a free kick, he got angry, and now he's got it and he's clattered it.
He's picked up a yellow card, so he'll miss the next game for the club Barcelona. I've been on the edge of suspension from the Clasico. I have to take things very carefully against Real Sociedad. So he misses the next contest.
He's got Vasquez on the ankle. I think Vasquez sometimes maybe gets a little bit of a Mila challenges, but he's got him right there on the ankle. There's not much there, is there? Well, you're going to stop, let you come over the ball now, and when it's clatter, you get booked.
As so often happens. Well, Neymar will miss the trip to Pamplona to play Osasuna.
In theory, if you had to choose a game to miss, possibly that would be the one. You've seen Osasuna this year, they're struggling. I think they're possibly the weakest team in the league, actually, Osasuna.
Well, certainly in terms of the points, in terms of physicality, they're one of the more rough and ready sides.
I think in terms of football they can play and the capacity. But I think Osasuna fans know that as well. I mean, they realise that the club has got the squad that they've got.
Rakitic plays Sergio Roberto. Barcelona try and link up an attack. Another appeal for handball is Luis Enrique, who's looking to the fourth official. Former Real Madrid player Luis Enrique, as well as playing for Barcelona. Not fond memories of his time at the Bernabeu.
No, it was never really a regular at the Bernabeu, was he? He came there from Sporting. And it was only when he came to Barcelona that he really became the exceptional player that he was for most of his career. I was a Real Madrid fan. I would be quite happy with the way things are going right now. They've weathered the storm. Look, at Barcelona, a couple of chances, but Madrid look as if they're in control reasonably well, and they're starting to carve out chances of their own. At the moment, I would say Madrid are slight favourites to sneak this. Long way to go, and a lot can happen, obviously.
As we hit the half-hour mark. Little in the way of chances so far. Being ready to test by the goalkeeper. Made that Messi free kick, which was fairly easy pickings for Keylor Navas.
Just thinking, has not a save to make as such. No, but there was that Benzema volley. There was the challenge where Mascherano looks as if he's just having a little drag on Cristiano's shirt. Just some warnings there for Barcelona.
Ter Stegen slips up.
It's again given away.
Ramos. Have to take a charge from Sergio Roberto. Put a little bit into it himself as well.
It's not an easy game to referee. There's never an easy game. They're always conditioned by the pressing and runner. So far, Klopp is doing okay. I mean, wouldn't mind having a look at a couple of those possible penalty decisions.
Swung over to the far side where Carvajal is coming up. Vasquez calls for it. He decides to stay central. Good look, Vasquez. He might go for Ronaldo though. Tries to get touch tight on him. It's swung over. Ronaldo might get to this. Benzema had that taken away from him maybe by Ronaldo. It's Marcelo.
But once again, they're just at the key moment. The defender slips.
Oh, the decision has gone against Football Club Barcelona, it seems.
No, I think I'm not quite sure what's happening. Really. I think they want a free kick for possible pull on Sergio Roberto, and then it's Ronaldo who takes over, who knocks over Benzema. possible dangerous places. Trying to volley, it's close to PK, and yeah, it's come to nothing.
Good players getting in one another's way.
I think the question is maybe did Benzema pull Sergio Roberto over, or did Sergio Roberto slip? There are a lot of people slipping today.
This goes down. Here's Jordi Alba. We've seen him move forward a few times, Jordi Alba. He's sending in those trademark crosses from the left.
It's good work from Isco.
Great run down the right. A little bit kept in play by Lucas Vazquez, and there's a collision with Neymar. He's never afraid to go down.
Linesman's right in front of it, isn't he? On two occasions.
They're slipping and sliding everywhere. Messi and Isco tumbling almost in front of one another. Kovacic. Here's Marcelo inside the box. Rebounds off his shin with Gerard Piqué making the challenge.
Yeah, good challenge from Piqué.
Marcelo's maybe been the stand-up for Real Madrid.
It's been a very solid performance. I think Kovacic and Modric have done well in the middle, and Isco's just starting to get involved a wee bit more.
Marcelo jogs back to take on a more defensive position. Barca going to go down that right side. Sergio Roberto just advancing. Busquets is dropping back into the defence. He's playing higher up.
Exactly, that's allowing Andre Gomez to do that, but he doesn't look quite as happy there, Busquets, does he? And Messi just trying to do too much.
He has kept hold of the ball. Sergio Roberto.
I think we need to see a bit more from Rakitic. If they've got Andre Gomez who's not as creative, then he needs to do a bit more.
A nasty follow from Neymar. He was going down, but the way he did the splits as he went down was painful to watch. He was back up to his feet.
Gomez will be his last clasico, obviously, because I think he retires at the end of this season. He missed the cuts. I think he's one. If he'd have been a day younger, he'd have been able to carry on for another season. No, I'm taking it.
Neymar's had a few free kicks from this sort of distance, which mostly in the absence of Leo Messi last season. In that spell in which Messi was out injured. Leo Messi puts it looking for Andre Gomez. Modric comes in full force. The other kicks from Kovacic and it's out to play. 10 minutes to go before the end of the half. Barca might be a slightly more concerned of the two sides.
Definitely.
Okay.
Just that fluidity that we were used to seeing, or we have been so used to seeing, it isn't there. I don't want to blame Andre Gomez because I think it's a slightly different style of player, but that close interaction that you used to get off Busquets, Rakitic, Xavi when he was here, Gomez is just that little bit more. It's slightly more defensive in his outlook, I think.
It's ball intercepted by Modric. Real Madrid on the break. Few sides are as dangerous in world football than Real Madrid on the counter-attack. Ronaldo takes on his old sparring partner. Piqué goes for goal and Ter Stegen pushes it away. Corner for Real Madrid. First time we've seen Cristiano Ronaldo have an attempt to go through to goal.
Yeah, he does well, and it's the first long run we've seen as well. Piqué holds, stands up, and he hasn't got, at the end he hasn't really got a great angle, but still manages to get a very powerful shot in on his left foot. I'm slightly surprised Stegen the power of it as well.
Second Real Madrid corner of the game. Swung into the near post. The header clear is by Luis Suarez, who breaks into a sprint. Isco, Modric. Such like this. Up on the far side.
Just think we're not really seeing enough of Suarez either. Neither Suarez nor Neymar. Messi's tried to get involved. Yeah, a long way off.
Atmosphere just dipping slightly here at the Camp Nou. Not renowned for being a ferocious atmosphere anyway.
I think the last couple of times I've been, it's been a lot quieter than previously. I think one of the reasons is obviously because we're talking about how many places La Liga gets watched, you know, how many people travel to watch La Liga games, which is brilliant. But at the same time, people want to come to the Camp Nou and the Bernabeu, and you go to the ground, and there's a good percentage now, ever increasing percentage, who are not socios, who are not local fans, who know the songs, who get into the chants and get behind the team all the time. So there's maybe people who don't even speak the language.
Played across here, Cristiano Ronaldo takes on Ronaldo! Tries to toe poke it past Ter Stegen, but it's straight out the German stopper.
Well, if you look at the chances, I think Real Madrid are winning pretty clearly if you're looking at these sort of chances. 2 shots from Ronaldo, so we get the volley from Benzema and Barca. Well, not that much yet. We've not seen Navas have to make a save.
Marcelo thought Isco was going to drop over to the left-hand side. He didn't. Modric with the hammer. This time he's given.
Does seem to go down with his arm.
Another slip up. It's time with Jordi Alba. Nutmeg on Mascherano. Charge on Jordi Alba for good measure.
Get flat-footed there, Mascherano. I mean, obviously, if you stick a leg out there, then you might as well just have a penalty. But we've not seen any combinations between, apart from that early chance with the shot that hits Ramos on the chest. We've not seen any combinations really between Messi, Suarez, and Neymar, have we? Messi once again looking for the ball.
Messi in previous games, last season where he played front deep, played those diagonal balls in. He's trying to do it all by himself now through the middle.
It's interesting to see how Lucas Vázquez is dropping deep as well.
As Jordi Alba trying to put this across. The field behind the ball. Not given. Carvajal says it was off his chest.
He looks once again, one of those arms that's just slightly away. Might be his upper arm. Tough one to give.
Corner for Barcelona. Over by Neymar to an unmarked Andre Gomes. A mix up from the Barca players. Another slip up, this time from Kovacic. Messi. Sergio Roberto is there to shoot from the flanks. But Vázquez closes him down, playing a more defensive role today, Lucas Vázquez.
Yeah, but he's got forward very well as well. But I'll tell you, when you see from that angle, you can never tell because it might have gone off the chest first. He's got back and he's really helped out Carvajal as well. He's got a pretty decent performance, complete performance so far, Vázquez. He's a good player. He's a very good player. Jordi Alba. Modric's having a stormer in the middle. Not so much in his creative facets. You know, I think we always think of Modric as the creative midfielder. You know, if he's not there and they don't have Casemiro, they don't really have somebody to win the ball. But he's been immense in that aspect so far.
They're out by Carvajal. Only 2. Andre Gomes, that was Busquets bringing down Modric. Referee says no foul. Was looking for Luis Suarez. It will be claimed comfortably by Keylor Navas.
We're getting that sort of time, aren't we? 3-4 minutes from the break when Madrid tend to take that little step forward and really make a difference. Let's see if it's the case here in the Camp Nou.
Isco fouled by Busquets. It's been an intriguing first half.
It's not been the brilliant football that we were expecting. There's been far too many errors. There have been too many little niggling fouls. It's not been really nasty. But as you say, fascinating, and bearing in mind the context of the game, what Madrid could win if they take the 3 points in, what Barca stand to lose. It's just really one for the nerves, isn't it?
Busquets being hassled and harangued by Lucas Vázquez. Eventually goes down as Neymar takes the ball out on the left-hand side. That's paused at maybe the wrong moment there.
When you see it like that, you say, well, to be fair, I think he might get criticised, Tosco, Gomez. I think he's basically, Madrid have had a possible penalty when Lucas Vázquez went down. Wasn't nailed on. That could be given, but at least he seems to, if there are errors, he's at least being even-handed.
And the man shakes off Busquets illegally. Actually, the foul's been given against Sergio Busquets. Just the wrap. Left for a forward for him. He's been very disciplined, staying back so far. As Madrid continue to chip away at Barca's possession, it's more or less even.
But the question I'm thinking about, obviously, we've discussed already, Andres Iniesta. When do you think about bringing him into the game? If it's 0-0, do you bring him on and go for the win and risk the defeat? Do you keep it tight? I think you've got to think about bringing him on, haven't you? But I wouldn't bring him on just straight away at half time.
He's got a gorgeous touch from him. Real Madrid on the break. Ronaldo bursts into a sprint. Has to stay on side as Benzema goes forward. Benzema trying to run across. Okay, gets down. It could have gone anywhere.
Well, that was the moment, wasn't it? We were saying Madrid just before half time, they're so dangerous, and there was that moment where the ball hung in the air, and you thought, where is it going to end up?
Corner for Real Madrid just before half time. We shouldn't have too much stoppage time added on at the end of the first period. This corner will be sent in by Isco. He's over to the edge of the 6-yard box, headed towards goal. Rafael Varane. The header down, which is held by Ter Stegen.
Yeah, if this was a boxing match, Barca would be the ones hoping for that bell to ring, wouldn't they?
7 shots from Madrid. Barca haven't convinced so far, but here's Leo Messi, always capable of some magic. Slips it through to Sergio Roberto. Suarez pulls to where he wants Neymar to go. The intention was to bring the ball back to Leo Messi. Rakitic might do just that. Poor ball though from him.
That's a clever flick from Modric. Well, at the end, you got to say, Madrid has been a pretty decent team performance. Everyone's performed well in the first half. Barcelona, it's Messi and 10 more at the moment, isn't it? Oh, Messi and Piqué and 10 more.
Kovacic plays that one too short as the referee brings it then to the first half. A goalless first half at the Camp Nou. Barcelona 0, Real Madrid 0. Real Madrid maybe ahead on points.
Definitely, if I was a Madrid fan, I'd be more satisfied with my team's performance, and I'd be slightly disappointed that they weren't leading. Barca, yeah, just by that, but the miss is as good as a mile. Barca, they relied on Messi to drop deep and try and make things happen. Big players are still not doing their best. Busquets, okay, Rakitic hasn't really done anything of note. Suarez, we haven't seen. Neymar's got himself booked. These players need to step up in the second half, and the way they've been playing lately, I don't know if they can do it.
Well, the second half is coming up. Don't go away. We'll be back with more action from the Camp Nou after this quick break. Barca 0, Real Madrid 0.